Hi friends, we will now read one poem from Bhartruhari. Bhartruhari is that philosopher king who had written several poems, several motivating poems. This poem I will read first, you please read after me. Then I will explain the poem, then I will see whether there are any points of grammar, and then we will wind up repeating the poem. This poem is about how different people, they get spoiled. They get spoiled maybe sometimes due to their weakness, sometimes without their knowledge, how people can get spoiled. So let us read. Daurmantriyat.
Daurmantriyat.
So this is Daurmantriyat. So that is it. Daurmantriyat.
Daurmantriyat.
Nrupatirvinashyati.
Nrupatirvinashyati.
Yatis sangat.
Yatis sangat.
Sutolalanat.
Sutolalanat.
Vipronadhyayanat.
Vipronadhyayanat.
Kulam kutanayat.
Kulam kutanayat.
Sheelam khalopasanat.
Sheelam khalopasanat.
Hrir madhyad.
Hrir madhyad.
Anavekshanaadapi krushihi.
Anavekshanaadapi krushihi.
Sneha, we should not say krushihi, we should not anavekshanaadapi krushihi, we should not say anavekshanaadapi krushihi, we should not say, because that rukara is a vowel and not a consonant. Anavekshanaadapi krushihi.
Anavekshanaadapi krushihi.
Sneha pravasashrayat.
Sneha pravasakshayat.
Pravasashrayat.
Pravasashrayat.
Maitri cha pranayat.
Maitri cha pranayat.
Samruddhiranayat.
Samruddhiranayat.
Tyagat pramadad dhanam.
Tyagat pramadad dhanam.
Yeah, we have now more light. So this poem talks about how different people can get spoiled for some reason. And what are the reasons? It is almost like an occupational hazard. The first example, the poem gives several examples about how several people can come to trouble. The first example is about a king. A king means any ruler. Now we don't have kings, we have some heads of state, let us say. And all these kings or heads of state, they have got lot many advisors. Suppose there are certain advisors who are either dull-witted or who are who are not balanced, who don't have that balance of mind. The people who are not wise, who cannot foresee things. Suppose the king is surrounded by such people who only praise him, whatever the king says, yes sir, you are right. Okay, now let's go for war, you will be able to defeat that fellow. So a king who has some bad advisors, so he will come to ruin. So that is what the first line says. Daurmantriyat nrupatihi vinashyati. Nrupati is a king. Nrupatihi daurmantriyat, that is by bad counsel. Daurmantriyat, daurmantriyam. Mantriyam is counseling or counsel. So daurmantriyat, by bad counsel, nrupatihi, a king, vinashyati, he perishes. Then how about a sage? Suppose you come to a sage, yatihi, a person who is supposed to have renounced everything in life, and then who is in pursuit of knowledge, who wants to see what is this ultimate reality, etc., etc. So that gentleman, how does he get ruined? How does he get spoiled? Suppose he develops some attachment with something. A sage or a person who is in pursuit of that supreme reality. What is that supreme reality? What is the nature of God, etc., etc. So he has to, first of all, he should have a pure mind, number one. He should rise above all petty, small differences. He should lose his ego. He should lose all his bad, negative, feelings, such as anger, greed, lust, etc., etc. All those things he should, slowly weaken them, slowly discard them, slowly see that they disappear. So unless he is able to do that, he will not be able to concentrate on certain higher things. He will not be able to know the nature of the divine. One has to make himself pure in order to know the divine. So, but such a person, if he develops attachment, suppose he looks at some girl and then he goes after that girl, or he gets attached to some property, he gets attached to his ashram. Suppose a sage builds a good ashram, and then he is so much attached to his ashram. He is very busy constructing his, making some additions to his ashram, getting all modern equipment to his ashram, etc. He will lose his interest in divine. So, yati or a sage should not develop any attachment to anything. Then sutaha, lalanath. Sutaha means son. Son applies, the word applies to daughter also. Whenever we use the masculine word, we should also presume the feminine word also. Sutaha is a son. Then how is a son spoiled? By excessive pampering. You are supposed to admire, give all encouragement, encourage your son or daughter. Encourage, not only encourage, but say whatever is needed. You have to necessarily give, but then you should not pamper. Sometimes the children, they make unreasonable demands. I suppose you yield once. So children are also very intelligent. So it is almost like a psychological, small game between the parents and children. It is a psychological game. The child also sees how far the parent listens. And then he also wants to command. Just as you would like to command others, the child also wants to command. So the child makes some unreasonable demands. So you keep on yielding. The child is spoiled because the child doesn't know. Child doesn't know what is good or what is bad. So we should put some stop somewhere. We have to reason with them. It is basically a psychological game, as I said. You should be psychologically slightly superior to the child if you want to convince that child. So, suto lalanath, suta, by pampering, the child is spoiled. Then vipraha, anadhyayanath. Again we have come to the scholar. Vipraha means Veda pathena viprasyat. That is the meaning of vipra. A person who studies Veda, he is called a vipra. Veda pathena viprahasyat. So by studying all these Vedas means, in olden days of course Vedas, they were supposed to be the highest knowledge. So people who were learned, they were learned in Vedas. So vipraha anadhyayanath, suppose he doesn't study, so he is spoiled like that. In olden days, the duty of a vipra was to study and then teach. Not only study but also teach, propagate the knowledge which is there in the Vedas to all people. So that was the idea. So this person, by not studying, this fellow is spoilt. Then kulam kutanayat. What about a family? Kulam, or a particular family. Suppose you can take a very, very renowned family. There is somebody who was a great, scholar in a particular family. Somebody who was a very great leader. And then his son and his son, they become rather totally useless people. They bring a bad name to their predecessors, their elders. Oh, this fellow is the grandson of such a great man. But you see how foolish this man is. So this foolish fellow, he is spoiling the name of that whole clan. He belongs to a great clan. First of all, he is the product of a great clan, but he is bringing a very bad name to that great clan. Oh, the descendant of such a great man, such an eminent man, such a pious man, he is behaving in such a foolish way, such a silly way. So kulam kutanayat. So the whole clan, or kulam is a whole clan or a family, a renowned family, let us say. Kutanayat. Tanaya means a son. Kutanayaha means a bad son. Bad son or bad daughter, whatever it is. Bad child or bad son or daughter will spoil the name of a whole clan. Kutanayat. Sheelam khalopasanat. Sheelam is what? One's character. One's character is built by our own acquaintances which we have. Suppose you have good acquaintances. The good acquaintances will give some good samskaras in you. Suppose you meet some scholar. That scholar, your interaction with that scholar leaves an impression, a positive, good impression in your mind. Suppose you meet some criminal by chance, and that criminal will tell you some nice ways how to cheat, etc., etc. Maybe that also can create some impression in you. All the people are so intelligent, they are making money like that. Why can't I make money like that? So that is, the character is spoiled by the type of contacts we have, the type of contacts we maintain, the type of contacts we nurture. Sometimes we nurture them also. There are some good contacts which need to be nurtured. The bad contacts which need to be cut off. The bad contacts, they may like to befriend us. They may like to befriend us, call you, invite you for a drink, call for this, that, etc. and then try to slowly entice you into their own sphere. So all those things have to be cut off. So that is what this here it is said. Sheelam, the character, is spoiled by khalopasanat. Khala means a bad person. Khalaha, khalanam, upasanam. Upasanam is their proximity, closeness. Khalanam, closeness or proximity, friendship. So that says spoils people. Then Hrir Madhyat. Hri is again a beautiful word. Hri he means modesty. Hri is modesty. Modesty, when we are our normal selves, then we are quite good, quite modest. We know, say, in any situation how we have to conduct ourselves, etc., ourselves, in the company of women, say like that. Suppose a person is drunk. When a person is drunk, all the barriers, they slowly disappear. They slowly weaken. There are certain barriers of modesty. So those barriers of modesty, you are okay so long as you are not drunk or when you are in your senses. When you are drunk, that curtain is dropped and then the modesty is gone, and then you go and try to jostle with somebody, try to touch somebody, and then all those modest behavior is lost. So that Hrihi, Madhya means an intoxicant. That intoxicant drink will make a man lose his sense. So all the barriers of good behavior, so they get dropped. All the boundaries of good behavior, they get dropped. Then Anavekshanadapi Krushihi. Krushi means farming. Suppose you have got some land, you are trying to cultivate some crops there. Suppose you have just tilled it and then put some seeds there and then come home, relax, sit watching TV. Then suppose you never go there to supervise how the plant is growing, what it needs, whether it needs some sort of manure or whether it needs water, or whether there are any pests there, and then whether it needs some pesticide. Suppose you have never bothered to look at it. Then that goes away, that gets destroyed. So Krushi or farming, it is spoiled by Anavekshanam. Anavekshanam is lack of supervision. Avekshanam is supervision. Anavekshanam, na plus avekshanam. Anavekshanam is lack of supervision. By absence of supervision, you are cultivating a land, that is spoiled. Then Snehaha Pravasashrayat. Suppose your close friend is there, and every day you are interacting with him, you are meeting him, and then you are speaking to him. Pravasashrayat. Suppose you are staying in distant land. Of course, this is relevant for olden days. Now you can be on Skype, you can be or anything. But it was told in olden days. So you can give some margin to this particular line. Snehaha Pravasashrayat. Suppose you are staying in a distant land, you are never in touch with, say, your friend. So naturally that sneha is weakened. Slowly it is weakened. So this man will forget you, you will also forget him. So it is like that. Then Maitricha Apranayat. Then Maitri. This again friendship. Apranayat. Apranaya means if you are a good friend, you will be sharing something with the other people. There are different ways of showing your liking for him, your love for him. That is, you give him food, you call him for dinner, you go to his house for dinner, and then you give him some small gifts, you exchange notes. So like that, there is what is called a sort of give and take. There is some sort of close love and affection. So this love and affection, if it is not there, this Maitri also slowly goes away. Suppose somebody comes to your house, you never offer some tea also to him. And suppose you go to his house, he never offers his tea to you. So you will stop going, you will stop visiting. Not that you go to his house for tea, but some love and affection. There should be some sort of love and affection coming out from their heart. So if it is not there, naturally that Maitri slowly dissolves, slowly disappears. Maitri cha apranayat. Then Samruddhihi Anayat. Samruddhi means plenty. Suppose you are a very, very rich man, or maybe a kingdom is quite rich. Samruddhi, that is what is called Samruddhi, plenty. Anayat, Naya means wise behavior, wise conduct. You should know how to preserve your money also. You should have the intelligence. You should have the way in which how you have to preserve your money, preserve your wealth. see that say your conduct is good, you are putting your money in proper channels and not in wasteful channels. So you should know how to use your money, how to use your wealth, how safely to keep your wealth. So this anayat means improper means. So this samruddhi, plenty, the kingdom has all plenty. But then if the conduct of the king is not correct, or if the king is indulging in wasteful expenditure, then all the income is gone. So similarly, a person also, a rich person, by not wisely planning his wealth, then he will lose his wealth. Then Tyagat Pramadat Dhanam. Money. Earlier Samruddhi it is said, but now with particular reference to money, Tyagat Pramadat. It is by excessive charity. Suppose somebody is excessively charitable, or somebody who is pramadat. Pramada means negligence. Somebody is totally negligent about his money. He never looks into his bank account. Somebody else is managing his bank account and then drawing money slowly. Just an example. So Tyagat Pramadat. Suppose a person is totally reckless, he is not bothered about how the money is going. So such person, he will lose his money. So like that, how different things, say they come to doom, or rather they face some problem, or they get spoiled for different reasons. So the poet in this poem, he has given at least about 10-12 examples of about how different people come to grief. So here if you see the shloka, Daurmantriyat, this mantram means two meanings. It has two meanings. Mantra, that is a mantra which we chant. Suppose you sit in front of a deity and then you chant the mantra relating to the deity. Suppose you say Om Bhur Bhusavaha, etc., etc. It is a mantra. That is a mantra which it is used for a meditation to visualize the shape of God, or the idea of God, the concept of God, etc. And then you visualize on that, and then you derive, you understand the nature of that deity, and then by that you derive some benefit. So that is mantra. But mantra also means the king's counsel, somebody who is giving a good counsel, that is also mantra, mantrangam. So that is why secretariat is called mantralaya. The secretariat, if you go to Delhi, the secretariat is called mantralaya. There are there are no priests chanting mantras there. Mantra is, that is where all planning is done. Planning, all types of strategies are developed. So mantra actually means planning, strategy. So this Daur Mantriyat, by this bad planning and bad strategies and bad counseling, Drupatihi Vinashyati, then Yatihi Sangat, Sutaha Lalanat. So Sutaha Yatihi Sangat Vinashyati. This verb Vinashyati is the verb which applies to all other things. So every time the verb need not be explained, need not be repeated. So Daurmantriyat and Nrupatir Vinashyati. For the first sentence, the verb is expressed. Then the next sentence, Yatihi Sangat, means Yatihi Sangat Vinashyati. That Vinashyati has to be borrowed for all the rest. Then Suto Lalanat, Sutaha Lalanat Vinashyati. That Vinashyati has to be borrowed. Vinashyati means he comes to grief. He not exactly perishes, he comes to grief, let us say. Then Vipraha Anadhyayanat, again Vinashyati has to be borrowed. A Brahmin, by not studying Vedas, he will perish. Then Kulam Kutanayat Vinashyati. So that Vinashyati has to be borrowed for all the things. So a family, Kutanayat, because of a bad son, it perishes. Then Sheelam Khalopasanat. So all these words, for example, Kutanayat, Khalopasanat, Lalanat, Sangat, etc., they are all in Panchami Vibhakti. Panchami Vibhakti, which says, because of that, Daur Mantriyat, because of bad counsel, Sangat, because of attachment, Lalanat, because of pampering, the Anadhyayanat, because of lack of study, then Kutanayat, because of a bad son, Khalopasanat, because of a friendship with bad people. So like that, all these things, they are all in Panchami Vibhakti. What is that case? In English, what do we call it? The fifth case, ablative, that is ablative case. So that is that fifth case, in English. Hrihi madhyat, because of intoxicant. Anavekshanaad krushihi vinashyati. Vinashyati has to be borrowed. So there are at least a dozen lines, independent sentences, which are put in one shloka, in one poem, in this poem. Sneha pravasashrayat vinashyati. So it is like that. So apart from that, there are no great points of grammar. We will read the poem again. Daurmantriyan rupatir vinashyati. So here, of course, one sandhi. Sandhi is again a euphonic combination. Daurmantriyat plus nrupatihi becomes Daurmantriyan nrupatihi. That takara, that ta changes into na. Daurmantriyat nrupatihi becomes Daurmantriyan nrupatihi. So Daurmantriyan nrupatir vinashyati.
Daurmantriyan nrupatir vinashyati.
Yatis sangat. Sutolalanat. Vipro anadhyayanat. Kulam kutanayat. Sheelam khalopasanat. Hrir madhyad. Anavekshanaadapi krushihi. Sneha pravasashrayat. Maitri cha pranayat. Samruddhiranayat. Tyagat pramadadhanam. Fine. Okay.